Chosen one, have you ever wondered why your life has never fit the mold? Why, even in your quietest seasons, the air around you feels electric, charged with purpose, tension, and expectation? Have you felt the weight of something unseen guiding your steps? Something so much greater than yourself? That's not coincidence. That's calling. That's destiny. And now, it's here, right in front of you. The world isn't just watching, it's waiting. Powerful forces, entire nations, and global leaders are adjusting their strategies, shifting their plans, and negotiating alliances, all because of you. Why? Because deep inside you rests something timeless, something divine. Have you ever truly considered that what you carry might not just change your life, but change the course of history itself? Before we dive deeper into this revelation, I want to take a sacred pause to thank each and every one of you who has supported this message with your presence, your comments, and especially through super thanks. Your generosity helps bring these divine words to others across the world who desperately need them. Whether you've donated or simply shown up with an open heart, I am deeply, genuinely grateful for you. Every time you sow into this space, you're amplifying the voice of purpose for chosen ones everywhere. Now, lean in, because this message isn't just information, it's activation. Leave a comment with 999 below if your spirit is already resonating with this truth. That number is no accident. It signifies the completion of one cycle and the readiness to walk boldly into your divine destiny. This is more than just a moment. This is a confirmation, a spiritual signature that what's been hidden in you is now being revealed to the world. You were never ordinary. You were appointed. When destiny called your name, it wasn't a suggestion. It was a cosmic agreement. From the very beginning, a divine contract was signed in your spirit, one that marked you not just to succeed, but to shift systems, structures, and generations. You didn't ask for this weight, but it recognizes you. And now, the world is starting to recognize you too. Your name is being whispered in corridors of influence. Your presence is being requested in places you never applied. And the reason is simple. You hold what they can't manufacture: favor, vision, and prophetic alignment. The deal is done. You're not fighting for your future. You're stepping into a fulfillment that was sealed long ago. This isn't about being chosen randomly. This is about being chosen intentionally. And the time has come for you to rise, not just for your sake, but for the world's. So take a breath, feel the shift, and prepare yourself to walk in everything you were destined to carry. The countdown is over. This is your activation moment. Let's step in. God's chosen ones, nations are fighting over you. The deal is done. Those who once doubted you, those who laughed behind closed doors or overlooked you when your gifts were still hidden, are about to witness something that will leave them speechless. They didn't know, they couldn't have known, because the purpose God placed on your life isn't something that can be understood by human logic. You were never overlooked by heaven, only hidden. And now the moment has come where the world will see what heaven has known all along. You were chosen. This divine arrangement, this spiritual contract, isn't just about benefiting you personally. It's about the nations that will be shifted, the atmospheres that will be transformed, and the people whose destinies are tied to yours. Can you feel it? Can you sense that what's happening around you is bigger than you? Your influence, though it may have seemed small in the past, is about to overflow boundaries and borders. You weren't selected because of popularity or prestige. You were set apart by purpose. Not ordinary purpose, but divine intention, wrapped in heaven's seal. What if every delay, every painful detour was actually preparation? What if what felt like silence was God building momentum behind the scenes? The waiting season was never wasted. You were being strengthened. The pain made you unshakable. The obscurity made you wise. And now the deal is done. This isn't something pending. It's already sealed in the spiritual realm. And soon you'll watch it manifest in ways that defy logic. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. Habakkuk 2:3. Doors that were locked will swing wide, not because of your effort, but because of God's favor. You're walking into environments where your very presence will cause systems to shift and atmospheres to align. This is your divine hour, chosen one, and heaven is orchestrating every step. Consider how Joseph rose from a prison to a palace in a single day. He wasn't just elevated for comfort, but to preserve nations. Genesis 50:20. In the same way, your promotion isn't about luxury, it's about legacy. This is the season where high places will call your name. Your anointing can no longer be hidden. This is why powerful people, governments, leaders, influencers will begin to mention you without ever meeting you. Your name is circulating in conversations you didn't initiate. That's not coincidence. That's destiny in motion. And this movement, it cannot be stopped. The offer was never for the masses. It was for you. It always had your name on it. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you. John 15:16. You've entered the realm of favor that cannot be negotiated or revoked. Have you noticed the sudden tension around you? That strange pull, as if you're being watched, studied, evaluated. It's because nations are finally realizing that you are the missing key to strategies they've been trying to unlock. There's a mantle on your life that's causing the world to pause and reposition. The very governments that ignored you are now willing to bend policy just to connect with your wisdom. Look at the story of Nelson Mandela, once imprisoned, later courted by world leaders because he carried the moral compass his nation needed. Like him, your influence isn't sourced from power, but from divine alignment. You are not being sought because of what you own, but because of who you are becoming. And who you are becoming is causing kingdoms to prepare for your arrival. You have been divinely positioned, unavoidable, unshakable, unforgettable. So let me ask you this: what will you do when nations begin to pursue your presence? Will you hide behind old labels or rise into the identity God crafted for you before you were born? Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1:5. The truth is, they see your value more clearly than you see it in yourself. Your gifts are beginning to shine in a way that cannot be ignored. Think of Malala Yousafzai, shot for her voice, then honored globally for the same voice that tried to be silenced. Your voice, your energy, your essence is awakening the hearts of those in high places. And they're not just admiring you, they're repositioning themselves to align with you, because what you carry is irreplaceable. And what does this all mean for you, chosen one? It means you are now in a position where your past limitations no longer have power over you. The ceilings you once hit have become your new floor. Every rejection was redirection. Every closed door was divine preservation. And now, open doors will multiply. Your name will be on proposals, partnerships, and blueprints designed to change the future. Leaders will seek your counsel, not for flattery, but because your insight carries prophetic precision. Just as Esther was summoned not for beauty, but for strategy to save a nation, Esther 4:14, you too are being summoned for something sacred, and the world is waiting to see what you'll bring. Don't be shocked when opportunities emerge from nations you've never visited, or when platforms rise under your feet you didn't build. It's not random, it's your assignment manifesting. There will be days when you walk into meetings and feel the weight of history in the room. Don't shrink, you belong there. God will place you in spaces where policy is shaped and futures are formed because your presence is not ornamental, it's instrumental. This is the divine unfolding of everything you were prepared for. The influence you're stepping into is not borrowed, it was ordained. You were never average. Heaven poured its best into you. Your life is not just a path, it's a portal, a conduit of healing, strategy, revelation, and hope. Heaven doesn't invest without intention, and you are the evidence of that investment. Think of Oprah Winfrey, once overlooked, now a global pillar of influence. Her success wasn't handed to her. It was the return on her soul's resilience. You too are carrying treasure that nations are now ready to honor. It's time you recognize the worth within you and walk accordingly. And when you consider what an investment truly means, you realize it's never about instant gratification, it's about long-term yield. Heaven's deposit in your life may have seemed buried, even misunderstood, but it was never wasted. Every tear you shed was watering your future. Every betrayal chipped away what didn't belong. Every silence was a sacred pause to let the power build. We have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us. 2 Corinthians 4:7. The breaking wasn't to destroy you, it was to reveal the treasure. As you step into the fullness of your calling, chosen one, remember this: you are not walking alone. Every footstep is echoed by angelic backing, every decision is reinforced by divine wisdom, and every challenge you face is already under the authority of heaven's favor. You are not just moving forward, you are being carried by a momentum that cannot be seen, but will soon be undeniable. The investment God has made in you is sacred, and that investment will not fail. It will produce fruit that won't just change your life, it will shape generations to come. Have you ever wondered why you've been through so much pain, yet still carry a quiet knowing that you were born for something more? That's heaven making room for the magnitude of what you carry. The world might still be catching up, but soon they'll see clearly what heaven already declared. You are the vessel of something world-changing. We've all had moments when we felt ordinary, lost in the noise, unsure of our significance. But here's the truth: you were never created to blend in. From the moment you took your first breath, you were marked, not by man, but by God, set apart, called to disrupt, rebuild, restore. Your existence challenges the status quo. Have you noticed how you've always felt different, even in rooms filled with familiar faces? That's not alienation, that's consecration. Your assignment doesn't stop at city limits or country borders. It's global in scale. Ask of me, and I will give you the nations for your inheritance, the ends of the earth for your possession. Psalm 2:8. You are not just a name in a crowd. You are a blueprint for a new world, and the heavens are waiting for you to step into it. Think of people like Elon Musk or Mother Teresa, individuals on opposite ends of influence, yet both understood they were set apart. Musk reshaped technology and space travel, while Teresa changed the landscape of human compassion. What did they have in common? A divine restlessness, a knowing, just like you. Do you feel that same fire inside you, pushing you towards something you can't even fully define yet? That's your calling awakening. And now it's your turn. Your life is a living testament to the unfolding of divine purpose. Even now, things are being aligned that you can't yet see. Behind closed doors, conversations are happening. Your name is being mentioned, not because of your resume, but because of your resonance. Yes, there will be moments of doubt. Even Moses questioned his own worthiness when God called him to stand before Pharaoh. "Who am I that I should go?" he asked, Exodus 3:11. But like Moses, you're not being sent because you're the loudest or the strongest. You're being sent because you're the most aligned. Have you ever wondered why your path feels so different, so much harder, yet so deeply directed? Every chapter of your life, every joy, every heartbreak, has been a verse in the epic story God is writing through you. Your wilderness wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And what you're walking into now is not just a new level, it's the beginning of your global assignment. And this assignment? It's not just about you, it's about the souls tied to your obedience. The world needs what you carry, and they're beginning to see it. The shift in the air, that's the spiritual recognition of your rising. Leaders are starting to acknowledge something in you they can't quite explain. It's not charisma, it's not connections, it's the mantle. You carry the kind of grace that bends rooms when you enter them. You don't just influence, you activate. Governments, corporations, and influencers are realizing that partnering with you isn't optional. It's strategic survival. Think of Malala Yousafzai. They tried to silence her. Now her voice echoes in the halls of the United Nations. Can you feel the world leaning in, trying to hear your voice, even before you've spoken? That's because your voice is prophetic. Don't be surprised when powerful people start approaching you. They'll cloak it in strategy, in business, in politics, but make no mistake, what they're really responding to is your anointing. They know your presence changes rooms. Your insight shifts paradigms. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. What would happen if you stopped hiding and fully embraced your light? They will try to contain your influence, but the light cannot be confined. You've been entrusted with something weighty, and that weight is magnetic. It's what draws others to you, not because of your title, but because of your oil. What happens when the people in power realize they can't manufacture what you carry? They'll come looking for you, not for your name, but for your essence. And when they come, remember, this is not the time to shrink. This is the time to rise. You are not just another voice in the crowd. You are the solution to questions they don't even know how to ask. This is the kind of favor that moves nations. And governments know they need people like you, visionaries, prophetic voices, builders, the kind of leaders that don't just shift policies, they shift atmospheres. That's why you're being repositioned. You are stepping into authority that will influence education, economy, culture, and justice. Think of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a preacher who became the conscience of a nation. That same weight of influence rests on you. Have you felt that pressure, that calling, and wondered if it's too big for you? Let me tell you, it was custom made for you. But remember this, as doors open, they aren't just career moves, they're divine summons. These aren't just opportunities, they are holy invitations. You've waited, you've been tested, and now it's time to be trusted. And when the doors open, they won't shut again. What he opens, no one can shut, and what he shuts, no one can open. Revelation 3:7. You are walking into spaces that were built with you in mind. That is why the closed doors hurt so much, because they weren't the ones meant for you. They were part of heaven's redirection. Think back. Can you now see how every no was saving you? Every detour was divine recalibration. The heartbreaks weren't meant to ruin you. They were meant to remove what couldn't come with you. Closed doors were not rejection. They were preservation. God was never punishing you. He was positioning you. The delay wasn't denial. It was divine strategy. What if you stopped mourning closed doors and started preparing for the ones about to swing wide open? So now, when the right doors open, they won't require you to shrink, compromise, or beg. You'll walk through fully aware that you are the answer. Now you're more equipped, more aware, more aligned than ever. You've been fortified by fire, and it shows. Think of Oprah Winfrey. rejected by television producers, told she wasn't fit for TV, only to become the most influential media figure of her generation. That's what divine alignment looks like. It looks like doors no one else could open, suddenly swinging wide at the sound of your name. And when those doors open, you'll know. This time, it's yours. Have you ever looked around and felt like no one truly sees you? Like your gifts are invisible and your potential is being quietly dismissed? Have you wondered why you keep being passed over? Why people don't acknowledge what you carry? But what if I told you that you're not being overlooked? You're being negotiated over. You are not just another face in the crowd. You are a hidden vault of value, and both seen and unseen realms are in strategic discussion about your next move. What if the silence around you isn't rejection, but reverence? Your soul carries a weight of influence so rare, so powerful, that those who recognize it are trying to figure out the cost of aligning with you. They're not ignoring you, they're calculating. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field, and when a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy went and sold all he had and bought that field. Matthew 13:44. Like that treasure, you're being quietly watched, weighed and waited for. Think about it. Have you sensed eyes on you even when no one speaks? Have you felt like people are hovering near but never fully committing? That's because they know something is different about you, even if they can't articulate it. What you carry is not easily accessible. You're not a product to be consumed. You're a destiny to be honored. Just as nations negotiate in silence before announcing treaties, people, organizations, and governments are studying how to approach you. And why is it taking so long? Because rare things require rare process. Think of the Mona Lisa, centuries old yet still protected behind bulletproof glass. Its worth doesn't scream. It simply exists, and the world adjusts around it. Could it be that your value is so immense the world had to catch its breath before it approached you? Even now, people are quietly maneuvering. Leaders are making mental notes. Institutions are drafting proposals. Influencers are shifting their tone. They're watching your growth. They've seen how you've refined your skills, built your integrity, and stayed grounded when it would have been easier to give up. You may not be trending, but you're transforming, and that transformation is drawing power. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Proverbs 18:16. Behind what looks like silence is divine strategy unfolding. You're not being delayed. You're being delivered to the exact moment, the right partners, and the perfect platforms. Think of how Steve Jobs was once fired from Apple, his own company. Yet during that rejection, he founded Next and revolutionized Pixar, only to return and transform Apple into one of the most influential companies in the world. That rejection was not the end. It was refinement, just like you. Have you ever wondered if the seasons where you were shut out were really seasons of preservation? Maybe the very places you thought you needed were never worthy of what you carried. And soon, those closed doors will be the backdrop to your breakthrough. Don't misinterpret the stillness. This is your moment of divine negotiation. What's coming isn't average, it's covenant. You are not just being offered positions, you are being aligned with nations. As surely as the sun rises, those negotiations will soon bear fruit. Opportunities will unfold from directions you didn't even consider. You will walk into meetings where people have already decided to favor you. Collaborations will feel preordained. The silence will suddenly erupt into acceleration. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43:19. Yes, chosen one, it is already in motion. But let's talk about rejection. Let's talk about the sting, the heaviness, the feeling of being dismissed like you were never good enough. Have you ever laid in bed wondering why you weren't chosen, why they didn't call you back? why it always feels like you're left out. It's time to shift your perception. You weren't rejected, you were redirected. You were never meant to be where you were turned away. Those rooms didn't deserve your frequency. Those platforms couldn't sustain your calling. What felt like a wound was actually a warning, and heaven was moving you out before you compromised your destiny. Remember David, overlooked by his own father when Samuel came to anoint a king, not invited to the meeting. But God didn't need the meeting, he needed the mission. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. And God sent Samuel through the rejection to find David in the field. That's you. The anointing had to find you outside the room because the room was too small. Those places that excluded you, they weren't big enough to contain your future. Can you imagine the damage that would have been done if you'd actually been accepted into the wrong system? Think back to all the no's you've received. Each one was heaven's way of saying, not here, not yet, not them. They weren't rejection slips. They were redirection signs. Every failed relationship was making room for divine partnership. Every job you didn't get was clearing the path for your calling. Every friendship that ended was untangling you from false alignment. When you finally see what's coming, you'll thank God for what never happened. What if the best doors in your life opened only after the worst ones closed? Your rejection was your release, and that release is now maturing into elevation. You're not a victim of missed chances. You're a victor of divine precision. Your destiny is unfolding not in spite of rejection, but because of it. Every no is making space for the yes that will change everything. Just as J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, you too will realize that the rejections you faced were actually setting the stage for global impact. You weren't losing, you were being prepared. Have you realized yet that your biggest pain points have become your greatest platforms? So now, breathe. Release the heaviness. Let go of every false belief that made you question your worth. You are not defined by who didn't see you. You are defined by the one who called you. You're not the sum of your losses. You are the proof of divine recovery. What's coming next will make it all worth it. You will soon understand why the room had to clear before your name was called. And when the door finally opens, this time, it will be yours, and yours alone. Not by effort, not by force, but by favor. There will come moments, unexpected, painful, and disorienting, when people you trusted will walk away. It may feel like betrayal, abandonment, or worse, a silent verdict on your worth. Have you ever sat with that ache, wondering, was I not enough for them to stay? But what if I told you that every person who exited your life did so by divine design? They didn't walk away because you lacked value. They walked away because their chapter in your story had ended. This isn't about you being left behind. It's about you being set apart. Sometimes God must allow certain relationships to collapse in order to clear the runway for your elevation. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Job 1:21. He removes to replace. He subtracts to multiply. Their departure wasn't punishment, it was positioning. You were never meant to stay where you were. That pain wasn't to destroy you, it was to make you mobile. Have you noticed how your biggest shifts always come after your deepest losses? It's because elevation always follows release. God doesn't wait for the crowd to approve your next move. He'll clear the room so you can rise without interference. The people who walked out weren't your destiny carriers. They were distractions to be removed before your launch. They went out from us, but they were not of us. 1 John 2:19. Their goodbye was a divine yes to your next level. Think of Abraham. God didn't show him the promise until Lot was separated from him. Genesis 13:14. What if the very people you're crying over were the Lot to your Abraham, limiting your vision until they left? Could it be that God is pruning your life, not to hurt you, but to protect your purpose? Every closed door in relationship, every silence, every unanswered text wasn't neglect. It was navigation. God was guiding you out of comfort and into calling. And while you mourned what was lost, heaven was already building what was coming. When people let you go, they're unknowingly creating space for divine acceleration. It's not abandonment, it's alignment. When Saul rejected David, it opened the door for David to become king. When Joseph was sold by his brothers, he was positioned for palace-level authority. Their betrayal was the bridge, and yours will be too. You don't need everyone to stay, you need the right ones to align. And those ones, God will send them at the appointed time, in the appointed season, for the appointed purpose. Are you willing to let go of who left so you can receive who's next? And now, chosen one, let's talk about your calling, that unshakable pull, that fire in your chest you try to quiet in public, that divine whisper that won't stop, even when life is loud. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? That inner push you've tried to explain away, but it won't die, because it's not a thought, it's your destiny. But if I say, I will not mention his word or speak any more in his name, his word is in my heart like a fire shut up in my bones. Jeremiah 29. You were born with a mission encoded in your spirit, and no matter how much you run, it keeps running after you. You may have tried to hide it, diminish it, conform to what made others comfortable, but this calling was never meant to fit inside the boxes others handed you. It's bigger than their understanding. It's more expansive than your fears. And no obstacle, no mistake, no detour can cancel what heaven has written in bold across your destiny. Have you ever wondered why, no matter how low you go, something inside you still believes there's more? That's your calling, refusing to be extinguished. Your purpose was not meant to be managed. It was meant to be unleashed. It's time to stop dimming your light to make others feel safe. It's time to stop apologizing for the oil on your life. The fire within you wasn't given so you could blend in. It was given so you could blaze a trail. Look at people like Harriet Tubman. She followed the call, even when fear screamed louder than freedom. Her calling led her to liberate hundreds. That's what happens when you stop running from your divine assignment. You set others free by stepping into who you are. Your calling is disruptive by nature. It will make people uncomfortable. It will shift rooms. It will be misunderstood. But it was never meant to be palatable. It was meant to be powerful. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be light. And light doesn't ask permission to shine. So let me ask you, how long will you keep pretending your fire is a flicker? How long will you hide the heat that was designed to ignite change? You may feel overwhelmed by the weight of it all. You may look at your own insecurities and think, how can someone like me carry something so big? But here's the truth. God never called the qualified. He qualifies the called. Every fear you have is just the enemy trembling at what happens if you say yes. The moment you embrace your calling, doors will open, atmospheres will shift, and people will start to recognize the force you carry. Think of Maya Angelou. Her words, born from pain, became pillars of strength and healing for millions. You too carry words, ideas, and presence that can change generations. Opportunities are already aligning. You're about to walk into rooms designed for the calling you thought no one noticed. People will begin to treat you differently, not because you changed, but because you finally allowed your true self to emerge. For the gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable. Romans 11:29. What's inside you is eternal. It cannot be revoked, stolen, copied, or delayed. It's not just a purpose, it's a prophecy. So stop hiding, stop waiting for permission. The world doesn't need another watered-down version of your potential. It needs you in full power, full presence, full authority. Your calling is not a secret, it's a signal, and the world is waiting for you to answer it. So here's the question: will you keep delaying what you were born to do, or will you finally let the fire speak? The stage is set, the spotlight is warming, the heavens are leaning in, and your spirit already knows the truth. This is your time. Don't let fear keep you in shadows when you were built for the forefront. Don't let what hurt you keep you from what heals you. Let the past fall away. Let the pain be fuel. Let the rejection become redirection. You were never abandoned. You were being prepared. And now, chosen one, it's time to rise and walk boldly into the calling that's been chasing you all along. There was a time, chosen one, when your gifts were hidden, when your voice felt muffled, your potential buried beneath layers of silence and obscurity. You watched others rise while you remained in the shadows, wondering if anyone would ever truly see you. But what if that hiddenness was never punishment, but protection? What if it was God's way of preserving you, refining you, and preparing you for a stage you wouldn't have survived too soon? For everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. That season of silence is over now. The world is not only ready for you, it's actively looking for you. Have you noticed how opportunities have started to shift? How people are beginning to approach you differently? That's because the time of hiding is done. The greatness within you is ready to be seen, and nothing can keep it in the dark any longer. Every moment you waited, every year you felt forgotten, was heaven's way of preparing the world to receive you. The silence was strategy. The pause was purpose. You were being trained in obscurity so that you could be revealed in glory. The world needs what you carry, not just your skill, but your sight, not just your talent, but your truth. Have you ever wondered why the problems you see in the world agitate your spirit more than others? That's because you're not here to complain about them. You're here to change them, and the time has come. You're no longer just a voice waiting to be heard. You're a movement waiting to be felt. Think of someone like Greta Thunberg, just a teenager with a message, but her calling caused the world to listen. What you carry may have been overlooked in the past, but soon people will seek you out. Not because you're trending, but because you're transforming. There is something in your spirit that the world cannot afford to ignore. You are no longer to dim your brilliance to fit into dim rooms. Let your light so shine before others that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:16. This is your moment to shine without apology. So let me ask, what would your life look like if you finally stopped shrinking and fully stepped into the role you were born to lead? You are entering a time where bigger stages are being set, where platforms that once seemed unreachable are now opening up at your feet. The world has noticed, and they're making room. This isn't about arrogance, it's about assignment. You're not showing off, you're showing up. The hiding season was necessary, but it's not permanent. And now that your time has come, will you own the light or retreat back into what's familiar? Chosen one, the world isn't just waiting for a voice. They're waiting for your voice. And it's time. They won't just want your expertise, they'll need your presence. Whether in business, politics, the arts, or community leadership, you carry a frequency that cannot be copied. Others may try to duplicate your steps, but none will walk the way you do. You are an original blueprint, heaven designed, earth positioned. This isn't about applause, it's about understanding the weight of your role. Can you feel it? The sense that something massive has been building inside you, waiting for the right moment to be unleashed. That moment is now. You were created for such a time as this. Think of Malala Yousafzai, Another young woman who went from silence to global voice, not because she sought fame, but because she carried truth. The same is true for you. What you offer is not replicable. You are not here to fill space. You are here to shift space. You're not just another option. You are the only solution for a problem the world is just beginning to understand. And that's why doors are opening, not randomly, but by revelation. This is the season when nations, systems, and leaders won't just notice you, they will pursue you. And not for superficial reasons, but because they recognize your voice carries wisdom, your perspective brings clarity, and your presence brings order. They will realize that without your insight, they cannot move forward. Your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. Proverbs 18:16. So the question becomes, will you step forward with the confidence of your calling, or hesitate in fear of your difference? The truth is, your journey to this moment hasn't been easy. You've endured hidden battles. You've cried behind closed doors. You've doubted whether this moment would even come. But every struggle was part of your preparation. You've been refined in the fire of obscurity, and now you're stepping into the visibility of divine purpose. The pain didn't break you, it built you. After you've suffered a little while, He will restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you. 1 Peter 5:10. What looked like delay was God sharpening your discernment. What felt like abandonment was God fortifying your core. Think of Tyler Perry, once homeless, now a billionaire whose work has touched lives worldwide. Every no in his past was a redirection into his divine yes. Have you realized yet that your struggle was never about survival? It was about stewardship. Now that you're being promoted, you will carry influence with the integrity only pain can teach. You will lead from scars, not ego. You will shine from the truth, not performance. You are not just being elevated, you are being entrusted. And this elevation, it's not accidental, it's prophetic. You've outgrown the old space, and heaven knows it. The old room, the old crowd, the old limits. They were never your final destination. You were called to more. And now, nations are making room for you. Tables once closed are now expanding. Seats once reserved are now shifting to make space for you. Can you sense it? The divine rearrangement that has your name written into places you never applied for. You are not just stepping into promotion, you are walking in prophecy. You were never meant for fleeting fame. You were created to be the fulfillment of a divine promise. While others chase trends, you will walk in timeless truth. You're not a reflection of cultural popularity. You're the embodiment of eternal purpose. And that's why you can't be contained, cancelled, or copied. What you carry isn't for a moment. It's for a generation. So as you rise, remember this. You're not rising for applause. You're rising for assignment. You're not here for recognition. You're here for revolution. You are the answer to prayers whispered generations ago. The embodiment of words spoken before your birth. The fulfillment of prophecy. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1:5. That's not poetic. That's prophetic. Dreams are beautiful. They stir hope, inspire imagination, and awaken possibilities. But chosen one, you were not just born to dream. You were born to see. You're not merely a dreamer. You're a visionary. There's a difference. While dreamers often stop at inspiration, visionaries move into activation. You were never meant to sit still in the fantasy of what could be. You were destined to build what must be. Have you ever wondered why you see things others don't? Why your ideas stretch beyond logic and touch something deeper? That's because you've been given divine sight, a blueprint from heaven encoded in your spirit. Dreams light the fire, but vision builds the future. And you, chosen one, are carrying a future inside you that will shift generations. God didn't just give you a good idea, He gave you a mission, one that doesn't just impact your life, but has the power to guide nations, shape cultures, and awaken sleeping generations. Your vision is not random. It is specific, strategic, and sacred. Write the vision and make it plain, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Habakkuk 2:2-3. Your vision isn't just an idea, it's a map, a divine architecture unfolding step by step. While others see obstacles, you see patterns. While they see problems, you recognize opportunities. Can you feel the pull inside you, like something is pressing to be born, even if the world isn't ready for it yet? That's not ego. That's heaven's assignment. Being a visionary doesn't mean it will be easy. Quite the opposite. It means your path will be marked with resistance because you're carrying something that threatens the status quo. But remember, gold is purified by fire. Your setbacks, delays, and detours are not signs of failure. They're the forge of refinement. Think of Nelson Mandela, 27 years in prison, yet he emerged to become the visionary leader of a new South Africa. Vision is forged in the shadows before it shines in the light. Your adversity has only strengthened the resolve of what you carry. And though they may not fully understand it now, the world will soon recognize the greatness that has been hidden in plain sight. You must embrace the call to be a visionary. It's not enough to imagine change. You must embody it. The road ahead may seem uncertain, but the outcome is already assured. The future isn't something random waiting to happen. It's something that has already seen you coming. What if I told you that your destiny has been waiting for you to believe in it as much as it believes in you? The future is not a faraway place. It's already pulling on your spirit. Each decision you make, each risk you take, every act of obedience brings you closer to the fulfillment of your calling. You are not just existing, you are becoming. For we are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand. Ephesians 2:10. That means you're walking a path already designed for your impact. The steps you're taking, some painful, some unclear, are divinely ordered. Have you noticed how everything is beginning to align in ways you didn't orchestrate? That's not luck. That's legacy unfolding. And yes, the obstacles are real, but so is your authority. It's easy to focus on what's in front of you and forget what's ahead of you. But hear this, the future is already prepared. It's been whispering your name. You may not have all the answers right now, but the answers are coming as you move forward. Think of every moment as a divine dot being connected. What didn't make sense before is becoming a masterpiece now. Can you feel the shift, the urgency, the invisible push towards something greater? That's not your imagination. That's God confirming that your moment is near. For years you may have felt like the world passed you by. You've waited in silence, buried beneath layers of invisibility while others seem to take flight. But what if I told you that your hiding was holy? That obscurity was not neglect, it was preparation. Like a seed in soil, you were growing in secret. And now, chosen one, the soil is breaking. You are emerging. He made everything beautiful in its time. Ecclesiastes 3:11. The time of hiddenness has passed. The season of revelation is here. Think of Tyler Perry, creating plays in empty theaters, dismissed and doubted, until his consistency turned obscurity into empire. That's what God does with those who refuse to give up. Have you been mistaking the silence for delay, when in fact it was divine setup? Every gift you cultivated in the quiet is now the key that will unlock rooms you were once denied access to. The very things you thought no one noticed will become the reason people come searching for you. Now is not the time to second-guess yourself. This is the moment you were made for. The skills you thought were small are the very tools heaven placed in your hands to bring transformation. Your voice, your vision, your essence, it's all coming together. and the world will finally see what God has always known. You were never ordinary. The elevation ahead is not accidental. It's prophetic. You are not just taking a step forward, you are taking your place. And when the doors open, and they will, you won't walk in uncertain. You will walk in ready. Can you picture it? Can you feel the room expanding to fit the version of you that's been growing behind the scenes all along? That version is here now. The waiting season is over. You've been called not to compete, but to complete something eternal. You don't need the world's applause to validate your arrival. You carry heaven's approval. You were never meant to be measured by fleeting metrics of fame. You were built to fulfill divine prophecy. What you are stepping into is not popularity, it is permanence. You are not here to impress, you are here to imprint eternity. The world isn't just watching, you're being waited on. Chosen one, this moment isn't about being impressive. It's about stepping into your divine assignment. You were not born merely to survive or to blend in with the background. You were sent here to shift the atmosphere. There's an anointing on your life that transcends human understanding. It's not for show, it's for impact. It's not about personal elevation, it's about global liberation. Have you ever wondered why you carry so much emotional and spiritual weight? Why your presence alone seems to stir rooms, even when you say nothing? That's not coincidence, that's calling. You have been entrusted with something sacred, an anointing designed to break chains, not just in your life, but in the lives of others. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because He has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor, to set the oppressed free. Luke 4:18. This isn't about performance, it's about power, divine power moving through your words, your presence, your obedience. You carry a frequency that awakens hope in the hopeless. Whether through a soft whisper of compassion or the bold stance of a leader, your life disrupts darkness. What if your quiet acts of obedience were the very things that sparked freedom in someone else's storm? And don't be mistaken, the anointing doesn't always show up with noise. Sometimes it flows through your consistency, your integrity, the peace you bring into chaotic spaces. Think of someone like Fred Rogers, quiet, gentle, consistent. Yet, his legacy brought healing to millions. The same is true for you. You don't have to shout to be powerful. You simply have to walk in who you are. Your very being is loaded with breakthrough. Every room you enter becomes a battlefield of light versus darkness, and light always wins. Can you feel it? That divine charge resting on your life that keeps pulling you forward, even when you feel unqualified. No situation is too dark, no soul too far gone, no wall too tall. You carry the anointing to break what others have called unbreakable, and that's why the resistance has been so intense, because hell knows what happens when you finally realize what you carry. When you step into your calling, it's not just about you walking in freedom, it's about you becoming a key for others still chained. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. 2 Corinthians 10:4. You were born to tear down what's been holding generations hostage. But let's be honest, this journey hasn't been easy. You've endured seasons of silence, moments where nothing made sense. You've prayed without answers and trusted without clarity. Have you ever asked God, why does it feel like everything takes longer for me? That's because what you're carrying requires deeper preparation. Quick results were never part of your calling. Refinement was. You don't just impact moments, you build legacies. And legacy takes time. It's natural to grow impatient. We want to see results, to feel momentum. But chosen one, the process is not punishment, it's precision. Every detour was designed, every delay was divine. The steps of a good person are ordered by the Lord. Psalm 37:23. Trusting the process means releasing control, and embracing God's timing, even when it doesn't align with your own. Think of Joseph, betrayed, imprisoned, forgotten, yet still on schedule to become ruler of Egypt. What looked like setbacks were steps. The same is true for you. Can you trust that God's timing is not late, but intentional? That even in your waiting, you're still being positioned. You are being prepared for a level of responsibility, influence, and authority that demands maturity, wisdom, and inner strength. The pain you've walked through wasn't random, it was training. The tears, the nights of questioning, the moments where you nearly quit, they all shaped you. And now you're closer than you've ever been. Your breakthrough isn't coming, it's unfolding. Even when the progress feels invisible, heaven sees every step. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. You're not walking in circles, you're walking in purpose. And here's something the enemy doesn't want you to know. Your influence is generational. What you're doing now isn't just for this moment. It's for every soul that comes after you. Have you thought about the impact your life will have long after you're gone? You're planting seeds that your grandchildren will harvest. You're laying foundations for voices not yet born. This isn't about popularity, it's about legacy. Think of someone like Martin Luther King Jr. He never lived to see the full extent of his impact, but his vision continues to shape the world. You too are shaping time. The sacrifices you make now, the choices you honor, the courage you show when no one's watching, those will ripple through generations. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children, Proverbs 13:22. That inheritance isn't just financial, it's spiritual. It's identity, it's integrity, it's legacy. You are not just called to change your life. You are called to shift your bloodline. You are called to be the interruption to generational curses, the architect of generational blessings. What if your obedience today becomes the standard your descendants rise from tomorrow? You may feel small in this moment, but eternity knows your name. Heaven has written you into the pages of time as a reformer, a builder, a light bearer. The influence you carry won't always be applauded. It won't always be seen, but it will always be felt. And that's what legacy truly is. It's the echo of your impact long after your voice is silent. So embrace the weight. Embrace the responsibility. Know that your life matters more than the moment. It matters for generations. It matters for nations. It matters for eternity. In this life, chosen one, you will walk through battles so deep, so personal, that no one around you even knows they're happening. You'll carry silent burdens while smiling in public. You'll weep in the night and rise in the morning as if nothing's wrong. But let me tell you, those hidden battles aren't meaningless. Have you ever wondered why your strength seems invisible until you're pressed? Why your spirit refuses to break, even in private pain? That's because God is using those unseen struggles as training grounds for divine victory. While others only see the surface, heaven sees the war you're fighting. And it is pleased, not because you're suffering, but because you've chosen faith over fear, purpose over pain. But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you openly. Matthew 6:6. Yes, even your private battles have a public reward. The hardest fights are often the loneliest. No spotlight, no applause, just you, your faith, and the silence. But don't mistake silence for absence. God is closer in those hidden places than he's ever been. Can you feel him even when you can't see him? Because the truth is, you're being strengthened in secret to be revealed in power. The resilience that's rising in you will become the foundation of your future influence. Think of David, alone with lions and bears before he ever faced Goliath. His private victories built the confidence for public triumph. Yours are doing the same. Every tear, every battle, every late-night cry is sharpening the edge of your destiny. When the moment of breakthrough comes, and it will, you'll look back and realize none of it was wasted. Those unseen seasons were divine preparation. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life. James 1:12. The crown is coming, and the strength you've built will be your crown's foundation. So don't be discouraged by what no one else sees. God sees it all, and He's already marked you victorious. Sometimes the intensity of the battle gets fiercest just before the breakthrough. It's as if life presses hardest when you're closest to your next level. Have you ever felt like you're right at the edge, too far to turn back, but still unsure how to step forward? That feeling isn't random. It's divine pressure before release. The cliff you feel you're standing on is not the end. It's the launch pad. You are closer than you realize. All that is needed now is your faith to hold on just a little longer. One more prayer, one more step, one more refusal to quit, and everything changes. Think of Thomas Edison. Over 1,000 failed prototypes before inventing the light bulb. His perseverance wasn't failure, it was formation. You are being formed in fire, not forgotten in it. Do not throw away your confidence, it will be richly rewarded. You need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised. Hebrews 10:35 through 36. Your promise is closer than it looks. What if the next sunrise holds the answer you've been waiting on for years? What if your miracle is already in motion? These trials aren't meant to break you. They are meant to build you. You are being forged in patience, sculpted in endurance, and empowered through resistance. Every moment of struggle is unlocking something deeper: courage, wisdom, resilience. And these qualities will not only carry you through your breakthrough, they will sustain you after it. So don't despise the process. Let the fire do its work. You are almost there. And when that breakthrough arrives, and it will, you'll look back in awe, not just at what God did, but at who you became through it. Are you ready to stop questioning the process and start trusting the outcome? Because everything is being aligned for your elevation. You don't need to chase victory. Victory is already appointed. All you have to do is endure. But what about when the obstacles feel too big? What about when the mountain in front of you seems immovable? That's when you must remember you were never sent to the battle unequipped. Everything you need is already within you. The strength you question, it's there. The wisdom you think you lack, it's planted deep. You've been prepared for this, trained for this, equipped for this. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, Isaiah 54:17. And that includes the internal weapons of doubt, fear, and discouragement. When challenges rise like waves, know that you've been built like a rock. When storms rage, remember, you've been fashioned like a shelter. You don't just endure storms, you outlast them. Think of Maya Angelou, rising from trauma, racism, and rejection to become one of the world's most powerful voices. Her obstacles didn't define her. Her response to them did. And the same applies to you. Every challenge is a mirror, revealing the authority that's been inside you all along. The truth is, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. That's why you're not just surviving. You're being fortified. Every obstacle is an invitation to discover just how strong you've become. And when the voice of fear whispers, "You're not ready," heaven thunders back, "You are chosen. You are backed by heaven, filled with the Spirit and standing in authority." So the real question is, do you believe what heaven already knows about you? You are more than capable. You are more than enough. You've been equipped with divine power, and no obstacle is greater than the one who lives in you. The battle may be real, but the victory is guaranteed. This is not the time to shrink. This is the time to stand. With your faith as your foundation and your purpose as your fuel, nothing can stop what God is doing through you. Beloved, as we come to the close of this message, let this truth anchor deep into your spirit. There is a favor on your life that no one can explain and no force can deny. You didn't earn it. You didn't hustle for it. This is divine favor, the kind that parts waters, softens hardened hearts, and opens doors that generations before you couldn't even knock on. Have you felt the shift lately? That pull in your spirit? That's not your imagination. That's the evidence of God's hand moving, rearranging, unlocking what no man could ever lock you out of. You are walking in a season where closed doors are not just opening, they're swinging wide at the mention of your name, because heaven has already approved what the world is just beginning to recognize. Divine favor doesn't operate on merit. It flows from mercy. It's not a reward for perfection. It's a result of God's goodness. You may have stumbled, doubted, or even questioned your worth, but favor still found you. Why? Because favor is attached to who you are, not what you've done. For you bless the righteous, O Lord. You surround him with favor as with a shield. Psalm 5:12. And you, chosen one, have been shielded, promoted, and elevated not by chance, but by divine appointment. The people you never thought would notice you are being drawn to you. Platforms that once felt unreachable are now being offered to you. And this is just the beginning. Before we go, I want to take a moment to say thank you, truly, to each of you who watched, listened, and opened your heart to this message. Thank you for walking this journey with me. Your presence here is not taken for granted. To everyone who has supported this channel through likes, shares, comments, and to those who have donated through super thanks, your generosity and encouragement mean more than you know. Whether you've given or simply received, I am deeply grateful for you. Your energy, your attention, and your faith are gifts in themselves, and I pray that as you've sown into this space, you'll reap in ways that only heaven can orchestrate. If you feel led to sow into this message through super thanks, know that every contribution helps this message reach more chosen ones around the world. But even if you don't, your presence here is a seed of faith, and I honor that with all my heart. And now, I leave you with this blessing. May the favor of God chase you down, overtake you, and rest upon everything you touch. May your name be spoken in rooms you've never entered, and may doors fly open before you without warning or explanation. May your steps be ordered, your heart be strengthened, and your spirit overflow with joy. I declare that blessings will find you in the quiet moments, miracles will meet you in the dark, and the fullness of your calling will rise in you with unstoppable clarity and power. You are not walking alone. You are not hoping in vain. The favor of God is not just upon you, it is working for you. And from this moment forward, expect the unexpected. Walk boldly, love freely, lead faithfully. And remember, the best is not behind you, it's breaking open right now in front of you. With deep love, gratitude, and blessing. Until next time, stay chosen, stay faithful, and stay ready.